Thanks for coming on.
You're just being nosy, aren't you?
Hello,
Hello, we're live.
How am I being nosy? We just barely got back to
No, I
your
was
little
talking to
intro.
the wife. She's being nosy. She's looking everything up over here. She's kind of like being a fact checker all of a sudden. She's in the room with me.
Hey, she used to do that for. She used to do that for us. I don't know why she hasn't done it lately.
Well, she came in here to have a cigarette because we got the Riley's here with Ashley for the weekend.
I see. That's not a bad thing, is it?
No, I didn't say it was.
All right, sorry guys. We are now live, and we are talking with the guys from Haunted Taxi, or youhaunted.com. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great.
It's good.
Real good, thanks.
Now I'm pulling a Joe. I lost my mouse.
Yeah, I'm not the only one that has that problem.
I got a MacBook using the fingers.
No, I got a big 43-inch TV and there's a monitor and it sits here, and every now and then that mouse will get in a corner somewhere and it'll stay there. Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
So guys, what got you started in the paranormal, and how long have you been doing it?
Okay, so real quickly, I just want to thank you guys for last week because I was in the hospital, and so I was really appreciate you guys have been able to push the show back to this week. So I am glad I'm here tonight.
That's not a problem. Health in real life, like that.
Yeah,
is
I'm better now. So
I'm glad you are.
Yeah, thanks. Well, I've been in the paranormal field. I coached high school football for a long time, but actually for the last about 8-10 years, I've actually run the Haunted Journey podcast. And so what we did was we go around and we just used to, as coaches, looking for places to go find different haunted places. And so along the way, I started picking this up. And so along the way, I was started listening to a lot of people saying, they love ghosts and that loved all the ghost shows, including, Ghost Adventures and all of that. And so I eventually decided to start the Haunted Taxi. Like a year and a half ago, actually, I began to run it. And so we started going, our tours started off here in Kansas City, actually in Johnson County. And then we eventually started up into Atchison, which is just about an hour north of where we're at right now. It takes about an hour to get up there, but it's a really good location for us because it's one of the most haunted towns in the United States. So, but we enjoyed it, and so somewhere along the line, we had an opportunity to buy this house. I started studying the house for about 6 to 8 months, and so that's how I got going. But as far as the Haunted Taxi goes, we actually just got the Haunted Taxi up and going because I was trying to obviously make some extra money, but also to let people enjoy, ghost, chasing ghosts, and like paranormal research for lower prices because it's so doggone expensive. That's how I got started.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. A lot of the equipment and stuff it's up there in range.
Oh yeah.
So how about you, Mike?
It's extremely
expensive. Steve came along and helped me. I was in the car business for 45 years, and we lived in a haunted house a while back, probably 25 years ago, but never really thought much about it. But got with Steve, and we went in together and bought this haunted house, and we saw quite a few orbs there, and that flipped the trigger. So when we bought this house, after the 28 days, I don't know if you've heard the 28-day rule, but after 28 days, a lot of stuff started happening at this house. It made me a believer.
Absolutely.
So did you guys do
The
any
house is demonic, gentlemen.
interesting. Did you guys do
Up
any
the railing, Mark.
renovation or anything there?
We did all this stuff ourselves over about a 4-month period, about 2-3 times a week. We got her painted, put the floor down, had to do
Oh,
a few little upgrades, but it's a real funny story. The guy that came and put the key in, we were changing the locks on the keys, and this thing was calling his name out 3 times, and he ended up leaving the keys right there and ran out the door. Never came back. Never got his money. He was gone.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
Yeah, this house was vacant for like 3 years before we got it, so they believe it's their home. You know, when we talk to them,
They always do. But
this is their
I've also
place.
known,
What are
They
we
probably
doing
don't like
here?
changes
Get out,
either.
you know.
I've always known though, and I've always heard, if you start doing any kind of renovation to a new home, that's new to you, but in an older aspect, you tend to disturb any energies that are there.
Oh yeah, yeah. They would move stuff from room to room. They would move tools, hide tools. They
I
would
haven't had that happen yet.
just kind of vanish. The tools would just vanish. You'd go back 2 seconds later and they'd be gone. And this is inside and outside the house.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we've had tons of activity, gentlemen. Actually, for about 6 months before, I had been researching the house, watching it, and actually went up there with a real estate agent who was a football coach of mine, or a football player of mine. He was a quarterback, and went up there with my daughter, and we walked in, and we hear footsteps upstairs, and then also when we were in the basement. Most of the time when we're there, we'll get it's tied to an old cemetery. Okay, so the house she was built in 1926. There's about roughly 100 bodies left roughly in the area. And if people want to see the story, it's block 56. It's actually up in Atchison. You can actually see a little bit more on it, or you can go to 1322 Maple House of the Dead. But the house has tons and tons of energy. Like Micah said, tools come up missing. We go through batteries like crazy there. I mean, it's just stuff that you can't even imagine. We probably hear about 100 different voices. We've found women's clothing in the attic, which is like really odd behind these areas. There are these doors. It's really a crazy place. And we know one kid who died for sure in the sled incident. I guess he was doing a sled, and so what he was they were back in about 1920s. They were actually sharpening a sled, and so when they did, the kid actually slit himself in the stomach, and he died up there in the attic. So It is really haunted, gentlemen.
We've had a couple mediums come through there, and they've told us that there's a 1800s demon living in the house somewhere. And I've also been told that there's a portal in the basement, but we don't have any evidence of that. But we've had a couple mediums tell us this.
Interesting. So, Steve, is that picture behind you? Is that the house?
And no, that is a house that I actually got online that we actually got. Well, excuse me, I'm not online, but I was going down to Emporia when they were going to tear it down. My son went to school in Emporia State, and I happened to take the picture. And I thought, wow, that's a great logo for a business. So I went ahead and started using that for the haunted taxi. So
I was just wondering. So
yeah, we've got about a 1,200 square foot house. We got a little small home, but boy, is it fun packed with energy.
A lot of energy, a lot of activity happening.
Oh yeah.
So what kind of
I have a slideshow for you guys too.
Okay, have you guys went through there with your equipment? I take it. Did like investigations and
Absolutely. Yeah, we've had several paranormal groups come through too. We had one here not too long ago. Had people went through there, actually started having stroke. One of the paranormal researchers began to start having stroke-like conditions, and they had to leave.
Wow.
Had another one group that was with us on our haunted taxi. We had a girl she was there. She actually she started. She was in the basement, and her eyes changed. She was covering her mouth originally like this, and so she was. All of a sudden, she took down her mask, and she was like, I love it here. I'm okay. There's something wrong here, and so she eventually said. She said all of a sudden she she starts taking off her clothes in the basement. I'm like, okay, time out. She said she was going to have sex with her husband, but her husband wasn't even there. So these kind of things happen all the time there. It's crazy.
Very interesting.
I got a slideshow for you guys too, if you guys want to see the slideshow.
Yeah, let's run a slideshow for a second.
You guys want to see that?
Sure.
Mark, I think it's this one, right?
There you go.
Is that it?
Right. So let's go back here. Yes, coming. Okay, so this is the House of the Dead is the one to the right hand side. If you see over there, the right hand side with the we have an orb coming out of there. We have tons of orbs. These are all our different our companies running right now. The Haunted Taxi to the left, 1322 Maple, House of the Dead to the right, Fearcation Travel app. That is our new app that we're going national with to have people save money, and it's a total haunted destination. We make fear fun year round there, and also to a Small Town Messenger. We have an actual site for social media there, and so that's that one. Okay, this is the actual house right here. This is a picture of the house all painted, and actually, if you look on the side over here. At the side over, you see this whispering thing on the side here by the 1322. You can kind of see something we picked up there. We get a lot of dark figures throughout. These are recent pictures we had. This one out guy took it just here about a week ago, a little over a week ago. The one with the woman here looks like she's almost like a skeleton-like figure that was in the mist. And then this is about this picture on the right-hand side here. It was from a video. We actually got to look at the video. That's about 12 and a half feet up in the air, and there's a face there. And we get lots of flies in that. We get a lot of flies in there. You see it?
Oh, yeah, I can see
face
it.
There. Yeah.
I've seen both. As soon as you brought them up there, I've seen both of them.
Yeah, did you see them both there? Yeah. So, this one here, the guy took a picture. I was like, well, I got to look at it. I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. And so then right here, this is the house there. These are some of the things we actually have. Some haunted houses you go to, and they're kind of boring, and just you go and you sit there and you wait it out like the Sally house. We actually have activities in the house. We actually have 2 psychomantriums. We've yet to have anybody sit in the one in the basement yet. There is a scrying room. They're terrified. It is one of the most haunted psychomantriums in the world. Also, too, we have a faces room where you actually sit in and you get a feel for different faces. We put all these lithograms we actually bought online that are actually old pictures from dead people. And then we also have a prayer room. We actually got some chairs that were from the Ku Klux Klan and the Odd Fellows. It was from a building in about Salina, Kansas, and we got that there. And so you're able to do some different games. And then we have Johnny, you're in the corner. We have a really haunted doll collection, and I'll show you that here. That's actually up here to the right. You can actually see the SLS. Yep. Okay. So then right here is Dirty Gertie is the top right hand. That is a Holocaust doll. We actually got that. I actually got that from my grandfather was in the Nuremberg trials, and I actually had it. My mother was a Blitz baby, and he was Field Marshal Goering actually had 5 henchmen, and Field Marshal Goering ended up taking his own life with a cyanide pill, and the other 5 end up sticking around, obviously, for a while, and eventually they took the they ended up going to the gallows, being hung. But along the way, they wanted different cigarettes or chocolates, so they gave different things to my grandfather, who was he gave us a Hitler book. We actually have a Hitler book we have put away in the safe deposit box, and we got Dirty Gertie and a couple other things. And Dirty Gertie's haunted, guys. She was actually she's from Krakow Plaszow. She's actually was given down through these German girls who had her. And Field Marshal Goering was notorious for taking dolls from this particular concentration camp and giving gifts to people from the Jewish people. And so she is actually there. And actually, my nan used to say she was haunted. And sure enough, she is very haunted. We actually have her. You'll see a different man's face in the back. Also, to the side of it, there's markings inside the box where it's completely clear. We can't figure out these markings that are there. And so she's there along with a lot of other haunted dolls we've picked up along the way. The top right-hand left-hand corner is actually there's the part of the cemetery is still there. And there's about, we think of between 100 and 140 bodies left still out in the area. Also, too, at the bottom here, you see the left-hand side and right-hand side. I was mowing the grass. You guys want to hear something moronic? I bought a push mower for an acre. How dumb was I? And so along the way, I decided to, I would mow the grass. So I was there a long time. A lot of times we'd come on and the lights will turn on and off by themselves with no one in there. Next one here is actually some of the stuff that happens upstairs. The top left-hand corner is the dolls, actually the more haunted dolls we actually got there. And then this is up the right-hand side. There is actually Mike. You can't get pictures up there. Usually your camera flips upside down. All our cameras in the house are flipped upside down, our security cameras, and they go off about 280 times a day with no one there. Also, to the bottom left-hand corner is another picture. You kind of can see this is outside, and there's you can still see some of the people back there by the cemetery. This is the entity coming down the stairs right here, coming down the stairs, and you can see it at the top. And then this is one of the psychomantriums at the top left-hand corner there. And then we actually sit in there and you scrying. Also, too, up there in 2 parts of the house, we have lots of flies, many, many, many flies in each room there. And they're there wintertime, during when it's cold, they're there all the time. Also, to the right-hand side, you see there's actually a writing. One day, Mike was old Englishing the furniture polish on there, and it came up that this was just on the door, and we can't figure out what the heck.
Written in blood.
It's in blood, and we can't figure out what the heck it is. And then the basement you see down there, those are a lot of the orbs. This house is full of hundreds and hundreds of orbs. And then the last ones here actually are haunted taxis. These are haunted taxis you ride in, and the ghost tours are second to none. And that's us right here. So kind of you get an idea of that. So, and thanks for letting me go on there.
Yeah, there you go.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's what it's for. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, that's why we put this together to interview people, so we can hear their stories and see what they're doing and up to. So, in that house, did you guys ever go through there with any kind of a thermal camera or anything like that?
Mike?
Thermo camera, we've had
That's
some
the SLS. That's the SLS
cameras.
Mike. Yes.
Yeah, SLS.
How many times? Many.
Used around there.
Yeah, we actually have different thermal cameras, and we actually had a paranormal group had everything here recently, and that was a girl that had the stroke-like conditions and left.
Wow.
They left a little early because they were really.
I'll tell you what,
trouble.
we put a wheelchair in the basement and just put it over in a corner one day and came back and it was in another room.
It moves.
we put it back again, and this thing seems to travel everywhere around the basement. We have a Ouija board in the basement that likes to play by itself. It's end up almost spelling my last name. And I took it off the board, the chalice, and put it in the other room. Went upstairs, came back down. It was back on the board again.
Oh,
Well, the other thing too is that basement is sealed. It actually was sealed when we got there. There's a pentagram in the basement floor, and they actually sealed it all off. They've got different demonic symbols that are put up all in that basement there. So it is extremely haunted. Actually, I had a psychic on our tour say our house was more closer to like Amityville or like an omen type demon, this very old demon. She would beware. She wouldn't even go. She barely would go upstairs, and she would not go in the basement. About half the people don't go into the house. About half look at it and go because it looks like cabin in the woods, and they're like, but it is truly an amazing experience.
I'd go
when
in.
you go.
I got no problem going in.
You would. I love it, Joe. I love to hear that.
You couldn't keep me out.
There you go, Mark. I love to hear that now.
I would literally.
About 3 hours.
I'm telling you right now.
You wanted to go outside and get some fresh air.
Nope. I guarantee you. I am one of the craziest mothers you'll ever meet. I would literally go in that basement
That's why the straight jacket's still on order. We can't find one.
Stand in the center of the pentagram and do questioning.
What? Now I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I would. No, I would.
You would?
It doesn't scare me. It doesn't scare me.
We won't even go in.
Honestly, guys, it doesn't scare me. I started practicing Wicca when I was 15. So I've been involved in witchcraft and Wicca since I was 15 years old. I have seen so much crap through Wicca and stuff like that a lot of people would just literally freak at some of the stuff that I've seen and actually experienced. I dated a girl who was an actual witch. She was a Hispanic girl, and she played around with the dark magics, and she did it, while we were together. I have in my dreams and in physical form confronted demons.
Wow.
I literally woke up.
So there you go, Mark.
I'm not kidding you. I literally woke up. This is when she and I was dating. We were asleep in bed. I woke up to a demon literally standing on my ceiling with its head down far enough to be face to face with me.
So you'd fit right in at this house, Mark. You come on by. We'll drop you off in there. We'll let you do an alone challenge by yourself all night long.
I would do it.
Mark, I've been challenged by a lot of people. Because I've had a Haunted Journey podcast. A lot of people have been saying, when are you going to do the actual, alone challenge there? And I'm like, they keep coming up with excuses. Well, kind of been this week. But it really helps.
Yep. I'd do it. I'd go there and I'd do it. Give me a time frame.
So you've seen demons before?
I have seen demons. I have seen demons. I actually shared. I actually shared a dream with this girl. It's really. I am not kidding you. It is the weirdest freaking thing. Because I thought, I had this weird dream. I woke up from this weird dream. I'm like, not thinking much about it. And then next thing I know, she's actually telling me about the dream.
Wow.
So we literally shared the same dream. So it was insane. It was crazy. Like I said, the stuff that I learned, the things that I experienced, I'm jaded to a lot of stuff.
So she was a practicing witch, huh?
Yes, she was a practicing witch. actual witch, like the dark
Wow.
magic stuff. And I was into the Wicca, learning that, which is more towards the light side and you know, the good energies of the, and we kind of clashed a little bit, but yeah, it was interesting. It was very interesting.
Did she make you levitate?
No, but I watched her. I actually watched her take. Okay, we had some change, like a couple of quarters, nickels, stuff like that. I watched her put it in her hand, close her hand around it, do something like this over it, and say some words in Spanish. Open her hand, and it doubled.
Oh, I could do
What?
that.
Every coin in her hand basically split and open, and it doubled out.
I could do that.
Nice.
I'm sure you can, Joe.
So could Chris
It
Angel.
wasn't that kind of magic.
It was a sleight of hand.
This
You
was
just missed
demonic.
it.
No, there was no sleight of hand, Joe.
You missed it.
She put her hand. No, I did not. Her right hand was completely empty. She put it in her left hand, closed it around it.
And your eyes were probably on her. And your eyes were probably. And your eyes were probably focused on her boobs, something.
I'm not
Not
you,
her
Joseph.
hand.
I'm not you, Joseph. I know what I seen, and I know what I experienced.
Oh, come on. Have a sense of humor. Lighten up.
No, not when it comes to this stuff.
Mark,
I'm telling you, this is real stuff. All of this is real.
Well, I hate.
Mark,
I tell
Joe,
you
you
what,
just need
this
to
guy,
come,
this demon, turns off the cameras at 2:30 every morning.
You know, that's a typical thing I hear a lot.
Really?
Is that things, spirits, demons, and stuff, they mess
Yep.
with the electronics.
Well, no, at 2:30, just every morning at 2:30, this thing runs all day long. But at 2:30, there's a blank spot.
Yeah,
for
they
about
do something they don't want you to see.
5 minutes. Every day.
It's got to be something significant about that. Then.
Yeah,
Well, I've ran the
they don't
tape
want him
up
to
to
see.
it and stopped it and then gone on. And I don't see anything out of the ordinary. But
you're not supposed to. They don't want you to know what's going on.
There's definitely something significant then for that time frame.
Gotta be, especially if it's at 2:30 all the time.
Yep.
Gentlemen, I have another video if you guys like to see it. With some more of this stuff if you guys like to watch it.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe. It's the other one you got there?
I can't see for shit right now.
Well,
I can't wait to get that. I think that's the video. That's the video? Oh, you did it and then I did it. You go do it then.
Well, you said you can't see for shit, and I was bringing it up.
Oh, I can't.
I tell you. And now,
breaking up there, Steve.
Right there. That's the entity right there. That is the entity. Let me run that back. You guys see that here? This is the entity right here. You see it right here? Actually inside the doorway here, right here. That's usually nothing in there. And it's to the left-hand side. You see it up there? The left-hand side of that door frame. Inside there.
okay.
That's
I'm
empty. There's usually nothing there. Can they get there? I said it goes off 250 times a day. About 200. You see it?
Okay. Well, what I'm seeing right now, it looks like it's upside down.
Flash, because that's just what they're for. I'm telling you that's just for rising. It's up.
Yeah, all the cameras flipped upside down.
No, that's what our cameras did. They all go upside down. That's the reason why.
Okay.
They're upside down,
So,
and that's what we picture. And that's
so you're
all
saying,
our cameras.
okay.
We can't keep them from not being upside down, Mark.
Okay, so Steve, but you're telling me though. Okay, Steve.
Okay, well, let me stop it here.
No, bring it back to that. But don't play it. Just bring it back to that doorway.
Yeah, I'll go back. Right there.
Hey,
Yeah,
I've
all our
got
cameras do
Okay,
upside down.
now-
This is actually flipped upside down.
Okay,
Every
but
camera in the house.
the picture we're looking at is right side up, correct?
right. Yeah, it's flipped around.
Okay. So we're looking
Yes,
at
I
the
flipped it
doorway
around.
here.
I
We're looking at the
Yeah.
doorway.
flipped it.
So to the left,
Right.
left of the doorway between the white and the brown, is that a picture or is that a mirror?
No, it's a. There should be nothing there. It's
No.
It's kind of a something you can transparent.
There's nothing
black
in there.
figure.
Empty room.
I see a person.
Oh, I
in
see
that.
where you're talking.
I see
Okay,
a
I
person
get it.
in that.
I see
Yeah,
where they're
that's-
talking when they
we
said
don't know what that
transparent
is.
black. I
Just,
see
just
what they're
nothing there, and
talking
it showed
about.
up there.
That looks like a person, and it
Is
looks
that-
like
Yep. You can
it
see
looks
it there.
like he's
This-
got. It
and
looks
I
like he's
actually-
got like a cream colored shirt on.
But he's transparent. Look, you can see the window right through him.
You're looking in
Right
the
for
wrong
him.
place. I see.
No,
I got-
you're
Yeah,
looking.
you can
No,
see the
you're
window.
looking at
No,
the
no,
door.
you're looking at the left-hand side of there. You can actually looks like a monk. You see the monk?
At the
It's like
left
a black
hand.
shadow figure over that goes over the window.
Right.
No, that I see that. That's on the right side of. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the left door frame,
Right.
and if you're looking through the window of the door, that
That's
does
where it
look
is.
like
That's
a
where it is.
person there.
Right.
What I'm asking is to the left
Yeah.
side of the door. The between the brown part of the wall and the white part of the wall. Is that a mirror?
That's the
No. No, that's just sheetrock.
Because
No.
I'm looking at that.
No.
That looks like
it's
it looks
an
like
atrium. It goes to the outdoors. It goes to the outside.
Yeah, see that goes out. That's like a laundry room on the outside of the house. That's where all the flies are. We came back one day and
that looks like a person's in that
There's
that
nothing
little,
in there
that
other
little
than just,
square.
here's about demonic, Mark. That's all they are. Hundreds of flies. Yep.
Okay,
So I like
didn't
that.
hear what
See
you
some-
said, Steve.
Hey Joe,
Is it
if I
computer,
Joe, if I send you a video on your
that little glass, that
I don't have my thing that way.
average.
okay. I've got one of
Okay,
about
this-
1,000 orbs flying around. I'd like to send it to you.
So you see all these orbs? These are things we find in the house. Hundreds and hundreds of orbs on a regular basis. On here. That's that entity outside. Dirty, dirty. That's that face. That face is that's in the same room, gentlemen. That's the same room right there.
That's the that black
far,
figure
my
is.
bad. Come on.
Yeah, I see a
There it is.
very demonic looking face in that one.
That's 12 feet up in the air, gentlemen. That's 12 feet up in the air. I'll tell you what, my computer. I need to call Google Fiber.
Google Fiber.
That's what we have. That face is in that same room where you were looking at there with that other entity. That's the exact same room as that is.
Yeah, I
Kind
never
of
heard of
crazy
that
stuff,
one either.
huh?
Hey Steve, did you get that wheelchair on there?
I didn't get that on there. You guys can find more on us on 1322 Maple or our Facebook page. And Joe, I know you have it. It's 1322 Maple. It's actually, you just go to You Haunted. You letter You Haunted or Haunted Taxi online. and you get all our videos. But we go to the Sally House. Sally House is extremely haunted. One more haunted, go to McIntyre Villa, which is also Stephanie O'Reilly. She does a great job with that place. The town is a fun place for people to go.
I had to look that up,
Hey,
and
Joe,
now I know why he's having issues.
What, Google Fiber?
Yep. Spectrum's much faster.
You know why? I can't figure out why. Also, I got
Comcast.
What?
We got Comcast over here.
But I just looked it up,
Google Fiber.
Max is
How
1
do I
gig.
take that down now, Joe?
Oh, you just hit that. There.
There
Max is like 1 gig.
What? Oh, there you go. Okay, thank you.
Now you can get.
No, it's interesting, guys. I'll tell you what, we really enjoy. Really, yeah, they do got the new one. I've got the 1 gig, so yeah.
And Spectrum does 4 terabytes.
Yeah,
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
the
guys
house
are coming
has definitely got some. I would like to see. I'd like to see Mark spend the night there by himself. I think I'd pay money to see that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we like to have that on tape.
You can make a movie too. We'll call it The Origins of Fester.
As long as the
The Origins
Tell
of
you what,
Fester
that thing
Adams.
goes viral. We'd be.
You know what, Joseph? I'd rather look like Fester Adams than that crazy freak in the prison that was in the prison out there, Charles Manson.
Between that and getting told I look like Jesus Christ and Tommy Chong, I'd rather pick Tommy Chong myself.
No, you look just like Manson. You could have been his twin.
Well, see, then I got a pre-made Halloween costume. Works for me. I don't have to
There
get
you
dressed
go.
up like a fool. With all the makeup
Also on our taxi tours, we go to a couple of cemeteries. Round Mound Cemetery up there, which is fantastic. We also go to Mount Vernon Cemetery, which is extremely haunted.
I heard of that
place
one.
Up there. Yeah, it's extremely
They got
haunted.
the friendly ghost up there, right?
Yeah.
That where Casper's from?
Yeah,
No.
it's funny, Mark. It's funny. Mark, we actually got a Casper van. Actually, one of our vans looks like Casper on it.
But none of them look like a taxi.
No.
Oh well,
You're all
get
vans.
inside.
I still don't
They're vans.
understand why the taxi.
Marketing.
Because we're hauling folks around.
If you get inside, they're like a taxi, though, a little bit.
Neither one of you were a cab driver or something in a previous life or anything?
No. Mike might have been. Mike was he sold cars.
That was a car dealer.
I was a cab driver.
Were you?
Yeah, I was. Mark will tell you that. That's where I met him. I got him in trouble at work. I got him in trouble at work with my brother before he even met me.
No, they load up about 5 people in those vans, and they'll take them from like Kansas City on up to Atchison, run around 13 different locations, describe everything, take them in the house. They all get scared shitless, and then come on back home.
That would be fun.
They get to run ghost
that sounds
equipment
like
too.
something fun to do.
Yeah,
it is.
Mark, it's a nice little taxi tour. That's why I say
Mark,
we're hauling people around. That's why we call it
people. Especially people are naturally curious. I find that when I was driving taxi, I found that people that never been to Madison, Wisconsin before, because I'd pick them up at the airport or something. As we were going by places, they'd be asking all kinds of questions. What's this? What's that? Or I heard about this. Where is that from here? People are just naturally curious about things, and that's what makes paranormal so fun,
That's what I love, Joe. I love the history. I love the history
of
stuff. I mean,
especially if you don't find the activity, at least you're learning something new when you go out.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, that house sits in the middle of an old cemetery. It's got the rock. We've got a rock that looks like a tombstone out in the front where they used to put the bodies from the stone directly into the ground, shallow graves. So that's why it's so haunted. There's so many
There, yeah.
Coffin
The
spirits.
grave. Coffin to grave.
Not a bad not a bad juju.
No.
You know that psychic. You know when that psychic went on the tour, said the house picked me. I didn't pick the house, and Mike was along with me at the time. We were like, "That's crazy, isn't it?" I mean, to even think like that.
No.
Well, we saw an orb, and I think that orb made the flip the switch
That was
and
it.
say, "Well,
Yeah.
that's a haunted house."
It's kind of like with
Yep,
crystals.
that was it.
Hey, it was a crapshoot.
Crystals, see, part of Wicca now. Crystals, you don't choose the crystal. The crystal actually chooses you. And then whenever it wants to, when it wants to connect with you, it'll reach out to you, and then you will actually seek it out.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's part of Wicca. Part of the belief in Wicca.
Dirty Gertie has a crystal around her.
Really?
And salt.
Yeah, and she's also got a Holy Trinity at the bottom of the case, and along with salt. We got salt, and she's also been. I've actually blessed the actual box itself.
Have you ever let anybody touch it?
No, Steve.
No, in fact, we
wear
wear gloves. It is kind of we wear gloves. We wear gloves. That's why and we make sure it's we want to make sure people are safe around it. It is a it's definitely it actually
glass.
What?
It's all encased in glass.
So
it is.
This is one of those places that we're gonna have to make sure that we go to, and we got like an RV or something, so I can sit on the outside with a camera and make sure that I catch it when you come running out crying like a little bitch.
Nope.
There you go. I'd like to see that. Let's get that on tape.
Nope, because once I'm in there,
yeah,
I'm in there.
We're gonna have to make that a challenge. I think we're gonna have to make that a challenge and make it really interesting. We might even have to start an online pool for that one. How long that he can stay in there for?
I don't know, Mark. I'm going to tell you, I've seen some of the toughest people I've ever seen go in there, and they come out and go, "Okay, I can't stay here much more." These are some seasoned professionals.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of times you'll get some chest pressure, and you'll have to walk outside just to get some fresh air.
That's the key. I'm worried about somebody stroking or
a lot of
somebody having a heart
scratching
attack.
going on and poking.
Scratches all the time.
Now, at nighttime, I've never been there at night. Steve goes there.
See, that's what he'd have to do. He'd have to spend the night.
Oh man, if you spend the night there, say your prayers.
Mark, we have one of the most haunted psychomantrums in the world in that basement. And
well, he'll fit right in. He's a psycho.
Yeah, sure. There you go. He can scrying right in the basement.
Fit right in.
I guess my question is how many of the spirits do you want left there?
I want them all to stay there, Mark. I don't want them coming to my house. They can stay there.
Yeah.
They don't get to come to my house.
That's their
That isn't what I'm getting at. That's not what I'm getting at.
All right, what's that?
I'm just saying how many of them you want left there.
What do you think, Mike?
He's thinking after he gets done, he's going to be able to get rid of a lot of them.
Hey, now, I got a tape. I wish you guys, I could send it to you on your phone. You got to see this thing. And you're talking about spirits. I'm telling you what, you're not going to believe it.
Dude, I'm not playing. I have experienced some stuff that a lot of people would, I could definitely see people losing their mind over some of the stuff I've actually experienced in my life.
All right. Well,
witchcraft is amazing.
You would rather fit
is
in
amazing thing.
If you'd want to do the whole night challenge, you could.
Maybe we should go ahead. You know how we have. Maybe we, you know how we have Mike, we have those mirrors from Penhurst, and we actually
Right.
have a mirror from Translunagania Lunatic Asylum. Maybe if we're adding
awesome.
something more to it, maybe we'll put Mark into a room and let him go in there for, he could become a new attraction.
Yeah.
Oh, he is an attraction as it is.
So do you see stuff in those mirrors?
Yeah. Well,
Oh my God.
we've had several people see different things.
You
Really?
realize
Mirror.
mirrors are considered portals.
Portal.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
we think that
Oh, yeah.
we've ramped up that house to the ultimate maximum. And
So have you had a psychic go in there and tell you if they've learned the name of the demon that's in there?
they
Yeah,
said
it's one of the
they don't want to
Yeah, I don't
mention
want-
the
we-
name
we-
because
Mike,
it's bad luck.
Mike, don't bring up the name. Don't bring up the name. Don't bring up the name. We don't want to know. We're not going to bring up the name because we're not going to
No,
bring it home.
I'm not
No.
asking. I am not asking you to tell me.
You know
the
what
name.
I'm
Okay.
talking about. It's got 4
Okay.
letters in it.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
not
not going
asking
to talk
you to
about
tell
that.
me the name. But here's the
Okay.
thing: a lot of times, when it comes to those types of demons, they will not give you their true name.
Absolutely, and that's why we
And
get
the
a lot
reason,
of
and the
Edwards.
reason,
Yeah.
the reason is if you know the true name of a demon, and you know what you're doing, you can actually control the demon.
You can
Say it
what?
again.
Okay, if you actually know what you're doing, and you know the true name of a demon, you can control that demon. You can make
Wow.
it do your bidding.
Mark, I don't think you can control this thing. I'll come heck or I want. I don't care. This thing you cannot control.
No.
I'm telling you, this woman had a whole freaking stroke. Another woman tried to take her clothes off and said she's going to have sex with her husband who wasn't there. I mean, what else can you say to that? I'm ready for the Mark alone.
I'm ready. I'm ready to give it a try.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome.
I have experienced so much crazy shit in my life because of having a girlfriend who is a witch and being involved in Wicca from the time I was 15, and I've gotten back into it. So
You'd probably see so much new stuff that you hadn't seen. You'd be impressed.
maybe.
It's a great place. I got to tell you guys, it is a lot of fun, but it is we now listen. I'm not going to take anybody. I've been talking about this super scary stuff, but our thing is we make fear fun. So if you're out there watching this tonight, we're going to bring you in here safely, get you out of there, and let you have a good time. We don't let you go there and have a horrific time, bring something home. We want you to have fun, get that experience like a roller coaster, and then come out nice and safe on the other side.
Yeah, and I'll say a nice little prayer when they leave.
Yeah, well, you better be careful sending him in there alone. He might come home with something following him.
I usually
He tends to provoke things.
I usually do.
Mark. Do you, Mark?
Well, we don't want you taking our spirit with you. Just bring
He's got a habit of pissing him off. He's got a habit of pissing him off and provoking him.
That's good.
So you're like a Zach Bagans. You're like a Zach Bagans who goes in there and bring it on, right?
Pretty much. That's what he does.
Okay. Just be careful.
We went to Farrar School with Dale, our mentor down in Illinois. He came up and we went out to Farrar School in Iowa with him, and I had 5 pieces of equipment subsequently fail on me.
Oh, really?
That's
because
the spirits didn't like him.
That's because I provoked him.
I bet your batteries wouldn't last 15 minutes in that house.
And the funny thing is, hey, the funny thing about Farrar School, here's the weird thing about it. That school is in Maxwell, Iowa. Okay. I walked in it. I had to turn around and walk out right away because I started feeling nauseous. But the funniest thing that happened there was he was trying to get into his laptop. And Mark is one of these people, he don't forget easily. So he wasn't typing in his password wrong. No matter how many times he kept trying, he kept trying, he kept trying. Couldn't get in the damn thing. Gets home after it's all over with, got in it.
Damn.
First try, wasn't it?
Yep. First try when I got home. First try on top of
But
it. Let
there's something, I don't know if you call it evil or just angry going on at that school, because that one boiler room was just, you could just feel the energy in that room.
Yeah, I tell you what,
And
every time you do one thing to our place, it'll do something completely opposite every time. You close a cabinet, it'll open it. You
Awesome.
take something off the Ouija board, it'll put it back on. You put a wheelchair.
Oh, that's another thing. Ouija boards. When I was 8 years old, I played with a Ouija by myself.
Did you really?
No.
Yep.
Hey,
Are you
now
kidding
this
me?
is on a cemetery,
Where
so
were your parents? Where
if
was
you
your
played
parents?
this Ouija board, you would have one heck of a time.
I used it by myself. I was 8 years old. I had about an hour and a half conversation with whatever the hell this thing was. And the last thing it said to me is that it wanted me to come to hell with it.
Oh my gosh. So
Wow.
yeah, don't ever do that again, Mark. Stay away from Ouija boards.
Yeah, you don't want to
They
play
don't
over
scare
our
me.
house.
They don't
We're
scare me.
Christians. Mike and me are big time Christians. We don't
We're,
want
hey, we're
anything
right
with
by
it.
the portal. They might suck you in.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm
Sure,
thinking.
sure.
That I'm actually thinking that pentagram that you say is in the floor in that basement. Yeah. I'm thinking that's where that portal is.
That's where the Ouija board is, right over the top of it.
That's where that psychic girl who was there too told us the same exact thing, if you remember.
Right. Yeah, she said there's a portal back there in that room.
If anything, it's got to do with that thing.
I'll put this Ring video up on your site so you guys can take a look at it. You're going to say, "Wow, that's a lot of orbs."
Well, I'm sure, but see, so the house sits on an old cemetery, is what you're saying, right?
Right.
All the way around it, yeah.
Okay.
not a bad juju.
Yeah. And is any of the other area around the house developed?
Yeah, listen to this.
Yes.
There's a guy sitting there watching the Kansas City Chiefs play football, and he's got somebody that walks right through his living room while he's watching the game. I mean, and he saw him. Steve has seen people walk up to the front door and disappear. Steve has seen people walk through the basement and disappear, but I've never seen him personally. But
so here's the thing: is that our house was an African American part of town, and they buried him at shallow graves. That's what they partly did. They buried him in shallow graves, and so that's part of the problem. It was an economic issue, and so I think that's what happened with a lot of these graves.
Right.
There's things like that should never be done. When you said that it was built on top of the cemetery, first thing I thought of was poltergeist.
That's right.
And building on top of and moving cemeteries, that's bad juju. I don't care how you look at it. That's bad juju.
Once they're there, they should stay there.
And you should just leave it
be. They chose the land, and if they, for the cemetery. And then once the cemetery is established, it supposedly becomes hollow ground.
Right.
And
well,
there are
hollow ground.
Okay, there are ways of moving a cemetery, but you got to do it correctly.
Well, I think
that doesn't get done,
and they didn't care.
Yeah, that's how it goes. I mean, you build on top of a cemetery. You're what do they call that? Desecrating it.
Yeah,
or something along that line. And then that gets rid of the in hollow ground once you do that. Too much damage to it.
No, it
And
doesn't
it
get rid
probably
of the
doesn't take
hallowed
much
ground, John.
to you know,
It
have that
disturbs.
happen.
What it does is it disturbs the energies in the area.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't necessarily get rid of hallowed ground, but whenever you do that in a malicious type of situation, where you're purposely knowing that you're going to be building on top of something like that, without following through with the proper procedures and the proper ways of removing and re-blessing and everything else, then you disturb that energy. And that energy, once disturbed, can actually turn to a darker version.
Now,
Yeah.
do you think that ever happened?
Without it being, without someone being there to like purify it again.
Do you think that ever happens? That
It
people
always
actually
happens.
take the time to do all of that purifying and stuff?
Not always.
I bet it's a slim
No,
that it
I don't
happens.
think they did.
I
Not
bet
our
it's a
house, they
slim
didn't,
chance
no.
that it ever
Because
happens anywhere.
they said it was in a dark part of town, and I think they were in a
Right.
big
It's
hurry.
in a part of town that they didn't care about.
Right.
You're
Exactly.
exactly right, Mark. And the thing is, Mark, there's still some tombstones there.
I'll
if
tell you
look
what,
up at the
dude,
top.
we got close to an acre that our house sits on, and
Mhm.
so we've got a lot of those spirits are aiming towards the house.
And they're angry.
Yep.
Yeah.
You've disturbed whoever built there disturbed
Well,
their resting
And
place.
I tell you, whenever
They also know that is a dwelling for the living. So therefore they feel that possibly the living is still there. So they may be going there in order to try and communicate and find out why they were being disturbed in the first place.
I think they are asking for help, but
Some of them are. But if there's truly
and then
when
some
they're-
of them. I mean, I've had the machine talking to me, having a conversation. It even told me that Steve was going to get scratched, and he got scratched right then and there.
I know.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just off the hook. I mean, it's like having a conversation with your neighbor, talking to this thing. It answers every question, anything. It says, I'm going to move something. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm standing right next to you. And I believe it. I put the SLS camera on Steve, and he's got a double figure every time he goes through the living room.
Don't tell my wife.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm fine. No, I seriously, I make sure I'm cleansed. By the way, guys, that's Mark. When you come, when it's all said and done, we'll go ahead and cleanse you when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
When you leave there.
You come on down, Mark, anytime you feel like
Oh,
it.
you don't want to do
Anytime
that.
you're in
Send the
area.
spirits home with him.
Hey, give me a nice
No,
place.
when I die, I'm gonna purposely haunt that bastard for the rest of his life, and I'm not gonna be nice about it.
Hey, see this hand behind my head? That's what you're gonna feel like the whole time you're there.
Nope.
Well, he might survive half the night.
I'm telling you guys,
I just
I
see this like a bunch
have
of them running out
experienced
screaming or
way too
white as a
much.
ghost or
Nope.
So how long did you
I
date
have
the girl who was a witch?
experienced way too much.
Well, that's
How
good.
long did you date the girl?
The girl
doors are always
that
open,
girl that I
Mark.
dated who was a witch, I dated her for about 2.5 years.
Wow.
So I went 2.5 years learning some of that and also dealing with it.
I dated a gal that claimed to be a witch, but I don't know if she was or not. So I
Well,
can't say anything about
this
that.
this one definitely was. She taught me a few things, and I also I participated in some of the, but that's.
Hey, did
because
she
I was
ever pick
younger.
any hairs off your head?
he
Are
ain't
you
got
kidding
any.
me there?
He ain't got any hairs on his head. He was born bald and stayed that way.
Maybe the witch took them off.
She cursed him.
No, I
because she liked him.
actually, at that time, I did have a pretty good head of hair.
Wow.
I had hair so long it was almost down to my ass.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now you don't have to worry about it. Now you can just shine it up.
Yep, pretty much. Just get the old
Don't tell
polisher.
them to do that, man. The glare off the top of the head
The
as
bumper
it is.
to
I
it.
need to wear sunglasses.
Well, that's
Yeah.
great, man. I'm glad you had us on tonight. It was a lot of fun, and I'd like to see you both visit it. And I hope some of your clients check us out.
That'd be nice. I'd definitely like to come down there. You guys aren't that far from us.
Oh yeah, anytime you got our number, we're gonna friend you up on Facebook, and
Okay.
we'll
I'd
stay in
I'd
communication.
take a road trip. I mean, we were going to take one down route. What was that? Route 66 or something? What's left of it, or what used to be, or whatever.
That's what you said you and your wife
Sure.
were doing there, Joe.
Yeah, well, that kind of plans changed because we ain't got anybody to watch the puppy for a long period of time. So
Now you
she
guys
had
are
that
all
whole
loaded
week
up
off.
with equipment and everything, right?
What's that?
You guys are all loaded up with the good equipment.
I've got a body camera. I've got a high def 4K camera. Because when I bought this house, I had some guys come
Yeah, one of the cameras
contract
stolen.
it out.
Uh-oh.
When I bought the house, I had some guys come out through Angie's List to put in a front door and a sliding patio door. And sometime during that mess, they walked off with my other camera.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
man.
So I had
Yeah,
to
'cause we
replace
had
it. I wound up
We bought
replacing it
the
with a
exact
4K.
same cameras to
Yeah,
start
you
with.
stuff a big old bag and put everything inside of it and keep
do.
it close to you.
Yeah.
No, I do. So I've got a high definition 4K camera right now. I've got a body camera that I use. I've got a trail cam that I can set up that's motion censored, and I've got a thermal camera,
Oh,
and
good.
it's only a camera. It's like it's shaped kind of like a gun type
I'll
of
tell
thing,
you what,
but it's
you're
got the
gonna.
screen on it.
I hope you
I've
bring
got
all that stuff.
two
with you.
audio recorders. I got two audio recorders. I got two laptops. Got my cell phone, obviously. And I got spotter scopes, and one of them has an actual camera that goes over the view part of it that hooks to the cell phone that I can record video on. So
you're all set.
Something you need to know when you come, Mark, is we go through so many batteries for these paranormal groups. They went through an entire bunch.
We've
They
got
go
many
this house-
rechargeable batteries that
Good.
go
Yeah.
with
They
this
eat batteries
equipment.
like crazy. I mean,
I keep
I
them
change batteries every 2
charged up.
weeks in all our cameras. Every 2 weeks and every month I have to change them on our carbon monoxide detectors, and also our different fire equipment that's there. We have to change them regularly. Also,
Yeah, we were
What?
going to do a podcast there, and the cameras died on us with a full
just kept
charge.
dying on us.
As soon as we went outside, they were built back up again. That thing just likes to suck the energy out of everything.
Right,
that is
everything.
very interesting. Yeah, because I have batteries. I have chargeable batteries for almost all my equipment anyway, and I keep them
Yeah,
charged
you'll
up
need to
pretty
bring
well.
a lot with you when you come, because you're gonna go through them, because
Yeah,
they
bring
went
a
through
bag
every
of 'em.
one of theirs. in
Oh,
2
we
hours.
usually do. We have a lot of backup batteries for all of our
Good.
equipment that we bring.
Yeah.
You know, even like the EMF meters and the little voice recorders that we have. We always bring backup batteries for those, because we buy a lot of
My voice
AA,
recorders.
AAA batteries a lot, and some of those watch size batteries.
My
I got
voice recorders,
know,
they're chargeable, so they
'cause I've got
I can't
2
change the
cameras.
batteries in them.
I've got 2 cameras, and I think the one you still got the spare. Mark still got spare batteries for that one.
Mm-hmm.
The one that you
Because
can match yours.
what I did is I bought when I replaced the one my camera that got stolen. When I replaced it,
Right.
I got
you
got
can get
an
the same battery.
4K. I got a 4K that took the exact same batteries,
Yeah, and the
so
4K
I could
also
still
one.
use my. So I can still use my batteries in it.
And the Ultra K4 one that I have here
got-
is only 2 batteries.
You guys familiar
What
with
was
the
that?
JBL speaker? You know the little hot dog
Yep.
speakers, the little JBL
Yep.
speakers.
Yep.
Well, I actually take one. We take one in there, and it'll literally go dead within about 4 minutes tops. And then I'll take it back outside and get away from the house, and it'll charge right back up. It is the craziest thing you've ever seen.
Interesting.
I'll tell you.
I
what,
also have a couple. I also have a couple of wireless, the wireless speakers,
yeah,
the
those
ones you just charge
Yeah.
up.
And then I've got 2 those 2 security cams that go so that you can watch them from the cell phone. And then we've got the bionic ear over here. And we've got a lot of equipment.
While
Between
you're
the 2 of
upstairs,
us, we've got quite a bit of equipment, and we
That's
keep
good.
adding to it.
you're gonna need it. But I tell you what, if you're upstairs, you set your equipment up. By the time you go downstairs, everything you've already set up will probably be messed up.
Flipped upside
These
down.
guys like to zig and zag, like Steve was saying.
It
It-
just
No,
it never plays.
My focus
like our
would be. My focus there would be to be down in the basement, in the room with the pentagram.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Now we have actually got a wheelchair on tape. We put a tape down there, and we actually see the wheelchair moving across the room all the way by itself and turning, getting off, and then starting to bang on it. It sounds like it's banging on the vents. But I don't think it is. I think it's something else. I don't know what
It always comes in. It comes in series of 3 all the time. There, all the time, the bangs come in series of 3.
boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's a crazy place.
Mark, we do have a bed there for you though too.
Heck
And we
yeah.
actually can blow fold it out for you, and you can sleep right on it.
Bring your girl with you.
bring your witch girl.
Oh no, she's no longer.
Oh, she gone?
She's gone.
Oh, gone.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
sorry.
it's kind of weird. And because of the stuff that I had learned through Wicca and from her, I actually seen it before it happened, and I knew what was going to happen, and I couldn't say
Wow.
anything.
Did it actually happen that way?
Yep.
Wow.
And and the way that the events are, if you're able to see that stuff like that and you say something about it, then darkness will come on you like threefold. So I couldn't say a damn thing about it. I couldn't tell anybody about it. I couldn't even tell her about it. Because if I would have tried to prevent it, the possibility is that it would have happened to me.
Yeah. I believe that.
So,
Those things just to keep out of the way, right?
That's the kind of stuff. That is the kind of stuff right there that has jaded me to a lot of things because of experiencing that. And I'm not claiming to be a psychic. I'm not claiming to be anything like that. But I am what some people call a sensitive. I can sense.
Yeah.
So.
We ought to do a podcast at the house with you in it. I think that'd be great.
I think it'd be fun, actually.
I think it'd be great.
Make sure you get a hotel close by for Lisa because she won't last 30 minutes.
She won't even last 5 minutes.
Right.
So speaking of that,
I was being polite and nice.
Yeah. So speaking of that, they can spend the evening with us from 7:30 to about 12:30. Then they have to get out because of danger. We're just too worried about it. So we actually set up in town a hotel in town that gives you a huge discount.
Like
You get a
50
nice
bucks.
hot breakfast, and you don't have to sleep in a terrifying Holly Hawn home with Mark all night long. So there you go.
Well, I guess one of the questions I would have though is, do you have a Wyndham hotel in that area?
We
I
have
don't
a Super
think
8
so.
we use. We
'Cause
use
I-
Super 8.
Points.
We use
I got
Super 8.
points.
Oh, you do? No, down 11. I
he's a
think
Yeah,
we're
tightwad.
more
I actually got
We're saving you 10%.
50,000 points.
We're probably
He's a
saving you
tightwad.
10%.
No, I've actually got 50,000 points.
But
Oh, dear.
but he's
Oh,
a
nice.
generous tightwad because he used his points and sent me and my wife somewhere. Where was that we went that one time
Hey.
on that hotel trip?
Hey, I gave you guys a nice evening alone.
Where was
For
that? Where did we
free.
go? Was that up
Well,
in the
actually, it
Dells?
wasn't free. Yeah, it was up in the Dells.
Yeah.
It was at the Chula Vista.
Yeah, it was out nowhere in the Dells. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, it was. It was. It
The only thing
didn't cost us
the
a
points.
thing.
Yeah, it did.
For
It
the
cost
room.
you 30. It cost you like $30 for the
Oh, that's
resort
right
fee.
for the room, but still, it was like $150 room though.
Hey, you can imagine this one's a $150 room for $50, so you'd be happy.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Now this hotel room is fantastic. You guys know Amelia Earhart's from there, right? Amelia Earhart, that's where she grew up. And the hotel,
Really?
yeah.
You
the hotel
remember
actually has
Amelia Earhart?
pictures of her.
Yeah, she's the pilot that disappeared that never got found.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
She
there's
is
all
the,
kinds
she's the
of
female
conspiracy
pilot.
theories whether she actually made it to one of those islands or not and just survived out her
She's-
last days on an
I think
island.
she
Or
came back to Atchison, and I think she's hanging out at the house.
Maybe.
I hear Emily all the time.
but yeah, she was
Also, too,
she
you
was
guys know
one of
something.
the female pilots
Something
of all
also is
time.
really. Also, too, some about up there, Amelia Earhart and all that. The Chamber of Commerce up there does a fantastic job. They are really, really roll out the carpet for people. It's a fantastic place to vacation. I think the United States, it's just a little gem up there. And so the whole crew there at the Chamber of Commerce does a great job. And we really, they're really good people. They take care of everybody up there and try to give them all, a little bit of something. And it's really a good little town.
Yeah.
Sounds like it'd be fun. I really want to try that.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that if you go to that house, Mark, that I'm there with an RV so I can camp outside, so I got a camera on that front door to catch you come running out crying like a little bitch.
Hey, there's
Won't happen.
there's a nice stone out in the front yard you could just lay on and wait for him.
Take a nap in there.
No, I'd have to find a
don't lay
tree
on
so
that
I could
stone.
hang upside down. I'm a vampire. See, I'm gonna live forever.
See, Joe thinks he's being funny, but that ain't ever gonna happen.
What ain't ever gonna happen?
Me coming running out of there crying like a little
I
bitch.
don't know.
All right, you want a real challenge? You and I both would be in there, and we'll see who comes crying like a little bitch.
Then they'd really have trouble. I just told you they'd have trouble. If I walked in that house, I'm a vampire. It push spirits away.
I'd like the video of that. That'd be a good podcast.
I'm gonna live forever. I'm not afraid.
Okay.
Nothing's gonna kill me. Look at what I've been through. I should have been dead by now. I'm already well past my expiration date.
Yeah, you are.
So
Twinkie.
now see, that's why I'm a vampire. I'm well past my expiration date.
Yeah, so you guys can take anybody that wants to can take a tour,
We always do this to each other.
or they can make a stay. Take a stay.
I was going to say, you guys are like needling each other all the time. And Joe, I think it's fantastic that you whipped like your cancer that you have. I'm really, very, very proud of you. When I talked to you the last few days.
Oh heck yeah.
It's a hard one to overcome.
We
Well, see,
may
I
hate
made
each
him.
other, but we really have to. We
It
we're the
started
only ones that can really do
like a
this.
joke, though. I mean, somehow I decided the first day of working, and I ended up working at the same place Mark did. He had been there a while. He knew my brother, but I decided my first day there that I was going to play a practical joke on my brother. But what happened is Mark ended up getting blamed for all of that until my brother actually realized who did it.
What can I say?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
he
just
went
good like
around
that.
accusing all these people until he got to Mark, and then Mark started laughing because Mark thought the joke was funny and just assumed that it was Mark that did it.
Shit.
And so he wouldn't let up until he saw me come in and into the driver's room, and there I was. He's like, "You son of a bitch." I was blaming everybody in here. And I'm going, good. I put one of those really dirty parking type fake phony parking tickets on his car.
Oh my
He didn't
gosh.
he couldn't check the parking lot because the car that I had at the time he hadn't seen yet. So he didn't even know that I had the car that I had at the time. So my brother had no idea that I was already there working because I was out on the road already. So he was going around blaming everybody and anybody until Mark saw the ticket and started laughing, and then he just assumed it was Mark after that.
Yep,
I think
I got blamed.
Hey, Steve, are you going to mention anything about the verification app?
Oh yeah, let me just quick tell you guys about that real quick. We actually got a brand new app we're running, and this will be good for you guys when you travel. What we do is you're able to use this app to go around and save money whenever you travel to different places. And then we're also going to be we also are setting up paranormal groups that are going to be able to come onto the site and save money too, and also be seen properly. I actually designed an algorithm for it. Google messed with me last year, and I decided I didn't want to play their game anymore. So I actually designed an algorithm that actually works to help people show up higher on social media, throughout. Also, too, to show up higher in Google itself. But the biggest thing is that this app is kind of a total haunted destination. It has everything from haunted houses to real haunted houses to stays. It's all there, and we're going to be kicking it off here in the next month. It should be all up and going.
oh, that'll
So
be cool.
you guys got to keep an eye
We're
on
gonna
it.
have to
Yeah,
check that out.
well,
Definitely.
Vacation Travel app.
It'll be good because it has its own social media. There's
Yeah.
there's a movie. There's haunted movies on it, 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's a
Cool.
great social media
So
platform.
it's fun. It's a fun thing, and it's been a lot. I'll tell you what, guys. That's what I do in my spare time all the time. Is that. So yeah.
So you must have a degree in computers or something.
Nope, I just actually did along the way of just learned and trained. I've actually taken some courses for coding and that, but along the way I've just kind of started to just pick it up and just watch a lot of videos. I watch a lot of videos. Watch a lot of videos.
I guess I could have done that too if I would have just put my mind to it.
Yeah,
I'm like
it's really good.
I was a self-taught computer genius.
Yeah, there you go.
I was building websites back where I got actually published a couple of times.
Sure.
But not. I had anti-Jeff Gordon websites.
Actually, You Haunted actually was up for a LinkedIn's top for the month website when I designed it. And I didn't win. It made me mad. I got third, but it was still pretty decent. And we were up there high, and it was always kind of a cool. And then I designed the 1322 Maple, and then now I've done this vacation thing, and it is a lot of work. Mike knows this. I'm working at it all the time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, coding a website is a pain in the ass.
The guys like
I just
you
do the point and click now. I do it the easy way.
It's always good to save money.
Yeah,
And plus, it
yeah.
tells you all the haunted locations in the area you're in.
And
I've
we
had
are
a
going.
few ideas for apps, but that one is really cool. I was trying to when you were telling me about that on the phone and
Yeah.
telling me about that app that you were developing, I was like telling my wife, I said, you got to wait till this app comes out. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be able to tell us all these different haunted locations to go to and see
Right.
and so on and so forth.
And you can save money
And
on
she's
food.
like, really? And I said, yeah, it's going to be cool when it comes out. And she's like, oh, yeah. I said, one of us are going to have to put that on our phone.
Okay, I got a question for you then.
What's
When
that?
you're standing in the back behind the house, you got the house to your back. What's in the woods there to your left?
That is actually those are graves in back there. There's actually some
So
graves.
that
There's some actually
there's graves
graves.
all in that.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're about 2 feet. Most of them are all gone now, but there's some probably. I'm not completely sure, but I actually went back there and found quite a few stuff that was back there. So they're still.
People have
You
seen
know what the thing is about it?
people back there.
What now?
They've seen people.
Oh yeah, there's
back there.
people. Well, people, that's what when they're on the tours, what they'll do a lot of times, people will say they're inside the house and they're doing everything and they're freaked out in there. People outside have said they've seen shadow figures in the woods coming out there. So yeah, it is extremely. I mean, I think there's about 100 bodies that were were left
I think it was
out of the
140,
older ones.
wasn't it?
I think so. Between 100 and 140, but it's called Block 56 is the actual story on it. So,
And it sits on Block 56.
Yeah.
So the house sits between Hickory Street and Maple Street.
Zero
Yeah.
Street.
there, yeah, up there, O Street.
Oak Street. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Am I actually looking at the right house then?
It's 1322 Maple, Atchison, Kansas.
It sits right by itself.
66002.
Pull it up on your map.
Yeah, it's sitting by itself, but at the back of the house, it says Hickory Street on the other side of the woods there.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is across there. That is Hickory up there. You're correct.
Okay. Yeah,
Pretty
this
neat,
is
huh?
the reason my daughter. This is the reason my daughter calls me the human GPS.
You know what I don't
that's
like? I'll
because
tell you what
you
thing I
knew
don't
exactly
like.
where we were going on the maps of the game, that one game.
Well, the GPS on this one, what bothers me is I go there and I bought a flipping push mower for an acre, like a dummy. I mow that entire thing, and I'll tell you guys,
Man,
it
you
takes
should have
me good 4 hours.
You should have got yourself a Ryobi crosscut.
We actually got a
Battery powered.
John Deere tractor now.
That kicks it, man.
Yeah,
Does it?
Mike knows how long
Yeah,
it takes me to mow.
It takes me an
I'm
hour
more
to
scared of
mow
the grass than I am of the
a
damn
little
ghost.
bitty yawn.
Oh, Steve seen the hands flash in front of his face. Looked at girls looking out the window at him.
Oh yeah, we actually got a picture of that. I got a picture of that on look online. There's a woman yelling at me. I think she's yelling at me. Quit mowing my damn grass with the push mower.
She's yelling at you. Is it?
Oh
is
yeah,
it in the house? Is it in
you
your
got a
house?
circle. Yeah, you can
Is
actually
it?
see her
It's
looking
from
out,
in this
yelling at me.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
I got her circled. You can actually look online. It's there.
That's funny.
That too, Mike. That curtain always opens up 2 times right along there.
Oh, yeah. Curtain. They just open the
where
curtain and look right out.
that curtain opens up.
Only the outside, cutting the grass.
Yeah, she doesn't like. I don't know if she likes me being in her yard, but tough luck. I bought it. We bought it, so that's it. You're sorry.
I mean,
You're actually you go back to the basement.
yeah, her voice comes over as a female, but we don't know what it is.
So just kind of curious, how big? Okay, you say you got an acre. How big was the cemetery?
It went
It
from
actually ran up all the way up across the top. It was actually, I think they think there was about four and a half hundred roughly graves in the area at the time. And then they said there was about 100 left that they could not get because they were just, they were ragtag. They put them in the ground and they just were very, very shallow. A lot of animals, things like that. And still to this day, that I think that people are really not completely sure exactly how many are still left up there, but they're definitely there. And that's why they say the fact there was a paranormal group did the area where that graveyard, the last part of it is there, and they need so many orbs. Well, that kind of reminds me of my house. That's what how many orbs we have.
Yeah, we got a lot of them. I'm gonna put that tape on your website so you can see it.
All right. Take a look at that.
If you watch our last podcast, I actually go over all that. I actually have pictures of the where it was and everything there. I actually have them on there, so you can actually look at them. They're actually there for when it was at that time. That's actually on the podcast. Our first podcast on that was I actually run the Haunted Journey podcast. First one was on all the problems we had with the house, with the water lines, and oh my dear Lord, we had so many problems with the house. And then I actually went into the actual history and also the haunted stuff that we ran into the house. And we actually interview and then we actually show you guys the different things, events that have happened. We have videotape, we have pictures, so you can actually kind of coincide them with what we're talking about.
Yeah. So I guess another question would be, have you ever talked to any of your neighbors and asked them if they have seen weird stuff?
The one next to us, he said, remember Mike, he said,
You got hit
the
in
one
the face with a frying pan.
frying pan hit a girl in the head.
Ouch.
What?
A frying pan hit the woman in the head.
The neighbor or the other one?
He's also the one that's seen those people walking through his living room during the Chiefs game.
Was that at 1310 or 1328?
It's the ones on the other side. We'd be the side. Be our
Was
left.
there a
side.
1313?
Be on the right side of the house.
If you're facing the house, the right side, that'd be 1310.
No, it'd be the one to the left. It would be if you're looking straight at the house, it would be the one the driveway is on the. It'd be the one to that one that's he actually is a trailer there. I think his is a trailer kind of house, isn't it, Mike?
Yeah. Right on the corner.
1328 then.
Probably.
His name is Oscar. Really nice man. Very, very nice man.
He's lived there for years.
Also, there's a house right across the way. There you go, Mark. You can buy that house right across the way. Mike said that when we were there, Mike had looked up inside that house and he swore he saw somebody inside that house. There is no one there. The house is kind of in bad shape.
Oh, so you get along with the house, Mark. You're in bad shape too, right?
I think it's
better
all the
shape than
ground.
you.
I don't know about that.
Okay. Was it this guy?
No, yeah, that one there. That's him. That's
Okay.
Oscar's. That's Oscar.
And there's your house.
Right.
That's our boy. That man. That's before we painted and done all that work on it. Look at it, Mike. That color. Remember that color?
The picture
Holy
on
cow, yeah, that's our
this
color
says
is black now.
this says the picture is from July of 2013.
Yeah, that's a while back.
See that stone right there? In
This
the
one
yard?
right here.
No.
No, in the yard.
Move over to the left. Right?
There,
Right,
almost
yeah.
there. Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
right there.
That's the
That's
size of a tombstone.
That's what they put in.
The bodies used to go from there into the ground.
Now, if you
Wow.
look across,
Interesting.
This
the one across the street, if you look across, not that
This
one,
one.
but the other one next. No, that one right there was up for sale. That right there, that one there, or that big older one there.
They quit
The one,
working.
the one I got the cursor over.
Yeah, and it's really in bad shape. It's in really bad shape.
Yeah, it looks like that front porch. Looks like that
It's
front
falling
porch needs a little TLC.
Yeah, it's I went inside there, and the actual guy went there. He actually sold it. I don't know what happened to him, right, Mike? He came over and interviewed us, and he was interviewing us by the stone, and all his he had a brand new iPhone, and has never done this before. He was talking to me, and none of the audio would work when he was doing the interview with me. But the other guy across the street, he's really nice. People right straight across from us, they're very nice.
The gray house.
Very nice, man. And the people people down the other side of us are very, very nice too, right down here at the very bottom. That guy's very nice. He's friendly, pretty friendly there. And then the one right across from us on the same side as us, they're very nice too. They're very friendly. The lady who lives in there is pretty good.
Pretty cool.
But I mow all that with a push mower. That's a lot of mowing. Huh?
That's a heck of a lot of mowing.
Hey,
that's a whole lot of. You know what I love about that picture? You know what I love about that right there is they actually they put a garden at the back, and it's a community garden in there. And I told them, I said, keep coming towards my house, keep coming, because I don't have to mow less.
Make it bigger,
right, Mike?
Make it bigger.
Yeah,
make it bigger. I kept telling. I said, because they would, really great garden. And I just said, hey, just keep coming towards our house.
That's pretty cool.
Out here, we never got to use it though.
Hey, I sent you that. I sent you that video. If you could put it on, that'd be great. I sent it to the Mark Joe show.
He's been trying to fix that. Facebook won't let him change the name on it.
Oh, it won't.
Nope. He's been trying to get rid of the Mark Joe show.
I got to tell you guys this. It's not bad. I've used Zoom before. This is pretty decent.
Oh, I like this a hell of a lot better than Zoom.
It works well.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't like
better.
Zoom. You have to download something for Zoom.
Yeah, it's easy to use.
Yeah.
Yep. StreamYard's pretty easy.
So you weren't able to get that?
I actually just recently bought that Cyberlink U Camera 10. It's actually pretty decent. I actually kind of like it.
You know, another thing I found.
I'm trying to get rid of some of these here.
You want me to get rid of
things
them?
also that I found out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take these out of here. I'll take these out of here for you.
All right, thank you.
I'll take this one out. Remove. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know why there's two of Mike up here.
There you go.
There you go, Mike. This is it.
Hey, watch
This
this.
is the basement. That door opens up and closes on its own all the time, Mark. That door opens and closes on its own.
It's pretty soon it's gonna look like a snowstorm down there. He hits the light.
You know, you're gonna have a lot of people say you'll have a lot of people tell you that that's bugs.
Does that
Yeah,
look
no.
like
I mean, to tell you, I think we'd have it'd be like a locust plague. I think if you seen that many, right? No, they're moving around. That's what they do, guys. That's what they do.
Never
Or
saw.
they'll tell you it's dust.
Well, it can't be dust because
It's
of the
not
direction
dust.
it's moving around, and the dust would have to have
All
a
around.
breeze,
Perfectly round, and you can see
and the
through
breeze would have to. But bugs would be the first. But that's still their.
Did you guys see our coats? You see our coats on
Hey,
in
Mark,
there?
That's the wheelchair that moves around a lot.
I see that.
Yeah, that's a wheelchair.
So is it cold in the
That's a lot of
basement?
orbs, no matter what you say.
Yes, there's cold spots down there, Mark. that you can't even believe. I mean, you go into areas like by that pentagram room back there. There's like these cold, areas that you just, they go and you can actually feel them with your fingertips. It's pretty, if you hold them down, they're like little, almost like areas of like cold air, like cold areas on your fingertips. It's really odd.
Interesting.
You can tell that's an old house.
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
Have you ever seen that many orbs flying at one time?
I don't think so.
No, I've seen that kind of.
I got affected by
view.
one.
I've seen that kind of a view when it snows.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. You know what? In fact, that's what it looks like, a snowstorm in a house. You know what, Mark? This house is, I can tell right after when Mike just ran that, and you guys set that out there, and Joe, I saw this house. I felt it right away. I thought, man, this house is waiting for Mark to spend the entire night.
Come on down.
Come on down. You're the next contestant on 1322 Maple House of the Dead.
I tell you, dude, I will do it, and I won't have a problem.
Well, the minute
I'm
you do,
excited to
I'm
see
starting an online pool.
Bring your cameras. I tell you what, we'll give you the super deal.
I will have cameras. I'll have my body cam. I'll have
We'll start a
audio.
pool and see how long you last.
Oh, I'll last I'll last all night. That's what I said, Joe. You really want a challenge? I'll go in there into the pentagram room and I'll sit in the middle of the pentagram the entire night, and then you can do whatever you want upstairs. And I guarantee you're going to be the one that's going to be running out of there crying.
You'll be
Yeah,
coming
but I
down
didn't
there
say that. I
looking
never
for you.
said I wasn't going to the house. I'm not
What's
the
that,
one
Joe?
that said that it wouldn't bother me.
No,
I'm not taking any
there's
chances.
just there's too
When
much,
I went into fire
there's
school,
too
I
much that
started
I'm
getting
jaded
sick
to.
right away, so I had to walk out for a little bit. I ain't saying I
Right.
could stay in there all night.
And what
I
happened
got
with me at
I got
fire
medical
school?
conditions.
What happened to
No,
me there?
Joe, you have to be
Hey.
careful that what it does, it likes to pick on people who have medical conditions. Recently, one of the reasons why I was a little worried that I went to the hospital is because I started having chest pains, and I'd been having them a while. Come to find out, they couldn't find anything with me. They just did a cath, and they didn't find anything. So I asked my general physician about it, and she said, I don't know about that, but she said about something being there, but she said that is interesting because that could happen. And I said, yeah, so I'm kind of watching myself. Whenever I go there now, I'm real cautious. I'm crossed up to the max. I'll tell you, Mark, I have crosses. I wear the Holy Trinity. I have on my wrist here, I have the Lord's Prayer. I don't walk in that house without it.
Yeah, but see, think about it. Let's say, I think I heard somebody say something about, if a spirit or something starts squeezing you or something.
Oh yeah.
Think about that. They could probably get a pressure kind of like what maybe feeling a G-force on a carnival ride or something.
You
And
can
that
imagine
G-force
all
on a
those
carnival
stories.
ride for somebody that's got a heart condition isn't good.
Well, when you
Just
go in
imagine
there,
all
the
those
thing,
things flying through you all the time.
the one thing,
wherever you
the
go.
one thing, we've got these two rooms upstairs that they're actually blocked off, and we have such activity up there. We had that psychic up there, and all she could say was there's a couple people there that I went back there and I opened the door kind of up a little bit and started getting really sick. I found an actual ice pick. I found some women's clothing, some hats, some old shoes that were there. It's just an odd place where it is. And then when I cleaned the stairs, when I did the stairs, there was blood all over the stairs. When I cleaned, I run a floor cleaning business, and I actually and there was blood on the stairs. So I don't know what the whole story is, but there's some nefarious things happen, I believe, there.
It's crazy. If you're upstairs, they throw dolls at you. If they're downstairs, they run over you with the wheelchair. So
Yeah, we actually have a picture of we have a doll up there called, you guys you all familiar with John Wayne Gacy? We actually have a doll. It looks like it's a doll. It's an actual it's a clown, and it actually
Yeah.
moved. Mike actually was filming it, and when he was filming it, the camera, his phone flipped upside down on it.
Wasn't he like
He was
John Wayne
dancing.
Gacy? Wasn't he like Pogo or something when he was the clown?
He was a notorious serial killer from
Yeah, I
from
know he's a
Chicago.
notorious serial killer that also wore a lot of clown makeup and
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
that clown thing on the side, but then he acted like an ordinary man, and yeah, that guy was he was a nutcase.
Yeah.
So we actually got a doll that looks like that. I actually picked it up, and that doll was actually moving. You actually can watch the video. We actually have it. It's actually rocking when you look at it. But Mike's camera flips upside down. Now Mike goes, "Well, I don't see it moving," but his camera flipped completely upside down, and it is moving. I'm like, "I'm worried, Mike. Can you not see?" He goes, "Well, okay, maybe it was." Afterwards, we look. So.
Yeah.
I don't.
Excuse me. It's been a long day.
And
Yeah, well,
I got one more for you if you want me to send it over there.
Go ahead. Joe can try and pull it and send it out.
Yeah, I gotta find my mouse again. I lost it.
There you go. Check this one
Joe,
out.
Joe, are you feeling a lot better right now?
Oh, I feel better.
Okay, good.
I get a little help from my friends.
That's good. I sell Delta 8 too. It's good for pain.
Mike runs American Shaman 151 in Olathe too.
What's that?
It's a CBD store. CBD store.
Oh, I don't use that.
Pain and stuff.
I use the real thing.
Oh.
They
give me my license. I'll sell the real thing too.
Yeah, they don't let us do. They don't do that in Kansas.
It's not exactly legal here either, but
do in Missouri.
It's legal in Illinois. It's legal.
It's too expensive to go to Illinois for it, though.
Michigan, and I believe it's legal in Minnesota.
We found out last night
Really?
how high it was there.
Pretty soon it'll be legal everywhere.
Yeah. And that's what it needs to be.
I hope in my lifetime.
Haunted rides while they were high.
Well, that'd be
man, I went to Great America that way once. It was a blast.
Did you get that video I sent you?
Yeah, this should be it. I just gotta get past the advertisement.
There you go. Oh, I forgot all about it. Yeah, this is it.
Watch this.
YouTube buffering.
Now listen close. When actually, I'm running some ghost equipment upstairs.
Oh, wait a
I'm
minute.
actually mowing the grass.
Hold on.
I was
I
mowing
might
the
have to
grass.
redo this then.
I was mowing the grass, and when
I don't know.
came
Do you
back,
guys hear it?
Hang on, Steve.
Damn it, where's my mouse? I keep losing it. Okay, hold on.
Holy mackerel. It was moving. For a second, you saw it moving.
What'd you do, Joe?
I didn't know there was a... I don't think I shared it right.
I heard something. I heard audio.
I didn't click the button at the bottom, so I just...
Listen close when it comes. I actually
Did you
ran
see
some
it
ghost
rolling
equipment.
across the room?
Yeah.
Okay, now I just
Why don't
started it
you
over.
close, Joe? Why don't you close that thing there on the bottom?
What thing?
In experience in something or other. Find out why.
You see him in that chair?
What I mean.
I don't know what
Not
you're talking
done.
about.
Not done.
Oh.
Right. It
moves around our basement like that all the time. No one there. Now listen, I ran this.
I saw it move.
Yeah.
Now, Joe, bring it to the beginning so we can watch it without it going
Whatever.
buffer,
You know,
weird
you
crap.
need to learn how to do this on your end.
I would.
You guys are like an old married couple.
I've known the guy
He has
long
all the
time.
control of this thing.
20 plus
Here,
years.
Cavs.
It's doing it all on its own. This is all YouTube now.
Well, he also trained here.
So I ran ghost equipment down there, and you'll actually hear some of it. And then I'm outside, and then listen close. Down in the basement, there was
Wait a
no
minute.
ghost. At the end, you'll hear it says demon. Now that's
heard
ghost
something
equipment
there.
running upstairs.
Hold on, I heard something. I heard like a voice.
Yeah, that's his ghost equipment running upstairs. He just told you that.
I'll be right back.
Mine did the same thing tonight when it buffered. It didn't buffer real good tonight for some reason.
Probably all the winter storm.
Sounds like he's using a Phasma box.
Oh, like Dale?
Yeah.
That sounded like a female voice to me.
Yeah.
And we had just bought the house too.
That's a female voice talking to you.
Yeah, nobody's inside the house all by itself.
I heard a bang.
That.
There's another one.
Yeah, what's that growl sound that I hear just before it happens?
Did you hear it? Run it back. Listen to that again. It says not sure, but listen close to that. It says demon. That's in the basement. That's not ghost equipment. That's actually in the basement. Ready to mark? Let's get Mark a bed and put him right there next to the wheelchair.
I don't want that room. I want the one that has the Pentagon in it.
That's next. That's the other one on the other side.
That is cool as hell. You know, I would have loved to see, you know, they tell us we couldn't get access to a building once, but they had like one of those old, you know, real old wooden wheelchairs in the basement of this supposedly haunted building. And the workers, they'd go downstairs in the wintertime to take their break in the alleyways where they're closed off now, but they used to go outside to these like what do you call them, like therapeutic type pools for the patients.
They weren't
It used to be an old
alleyways.
TB
They were
hospital.
tunnels.
Yeah.
So they had the tunnels that would go to the outside. So they're all closed off now. But they'd go down there to smoke and stuff on their breaks, and they'd see the wheelchair and a gurney moving on its own in one of the tunnels.
Wow.
We never got permission to get into that building yet. I haven't given up.
Well, actually, that wheelchair, I actually brought that wheelchair up. I actually brought that wheelchair from my neighbor was getting rid of it. And I said, I said, you want it? And she said, no, go ahead and take it. She goes, I said, is it okay? She goes, yeah. She said, my father, he had died. And I said, well, can I ask you a question? This is kind of morbid. I said, did he die in the wheelchair? And she said, he died by the wheelchair was next to him. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. So there you go.
That's probably why your wheelchair is moving, though. It's probably him.
Maybe. I don't know. Crazy.
I think it's the demon
all the time.
riding it around.
Never know.
Yep, you never know about that one.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to find out more. See that one.
Good job, Mike, sending that in there. I forgot all about that video.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Totally. We got so many video guys. We just get to the point where it's like, okay, another month, new videos. Like I said, the camera goes off 200. There's nobody there. We'll be there and we'll be standing there, and the camera will go into other rooms when we're standing right in front of it. It won't even stay on us.
We should have this app open in about 2 weeks. That would be good for savings and showing haunted locations in your area. You have a lot of haunted locations up where you guys live?
We have all kinds of haunted shit up here.
I was trying to think, what's the big haunted house up there in that area?
It would be probably that there's a mansion, I think, in Milwaukee that's haunted, but I can't remember the name of it right offhand.
We should put
I think it's Summerwind.
Let me see up there.
Summerwind or something like that, or I can't remember what it's called. There's a couple of them, but they're not like really like super famous.
Yeah, I watch a lot of paranormal shows, and so what I do is I get to look at like different places. Like I like St. Augustine, and Savannah is like, the holy grail of all haunted places for ghost tours. It is like the place for ghost tours. Actually, St. Augustine is too. Boston. Some of these places got some pretty good haunts, which I really like, and that's why.
They got a good place here that is considered kind of demonic, called Maribel Cave Mansion or whatever it was called. But it's kind of more like a rubble now. I mean, there's not a lot left of it.
Yeah.
Really?
It's just a stone foundation and a little bit of wall here and there.
So you can go there anytime.
I wouldn't advise it. From what I hear, I haven't been there yet myself. It's kind of on a bucket list type thing, but they're real big on trespassing. So if anything you do, you'd have to do from the road or try to figure out. That's what I'm still trying to do. That's why we haven't been there yet. Because I want to go right up to the building because of some of the stories I heard. They say that it's supposed to be a portal to hell. They say that witches were there. Their satanic cults were there doing who knows what and opened a portal accidentally. And there's all kinds of stories surrounding the place. But like I said, about who we got to ask to get permission to go on there. And hasn't been an easy task yet.
That sounds like our house. It'd be a good spot for the tour.
Well, we're actually in going to Dodge City. You guys know Dodge City was. If you ever watched Vacation, the very beginning where Chevy chases and he goes, hey, underpants, and he finally guy shoots it. We're going to be there. We're out in Omaha, where we actually go to the Black Angel, which is really a haunted place. We also go to Hummel Park. We go to some of the best cemeteries you ever seen in Omaha. And the tour guide up there named Lupe, she is fantastic. She's really great. And then we're going into Branson. Our next one is at Branson. In Branson, we've got that all figured out. And then we're heading ourselves down to Miami and Orlando. We want to get a southern kind of grip down that way.
I guess you'd need to take Lisa with you. She worked in Branson, and then she
really.
That'd be perfect.
She used to work there at one of the buffets, and she says she's met a lot of different celebrities that were in and out of there. And then she also, when Katrina hit, she also went down there and volunteered to help with some of the cleanup down there. She remembers seeing a casino in the middle of the freaking highway.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Maribel Caves. It was a hotel.
That's awesome. Look at that. Now, see, I like that. That's my cup of tea there. I really love that, Joe. I like history.
If you can see this up here, you can see some of the places, and this is what triggered this little memory. I know so much about a lot of things and I forget some of it. I probably forget more than I know. This thing caught on fire like twice, burnt down twice.
Wow. Yeah, I can see the fire.
So
Wow. That's amazing.
I'd like
It's
to
like a
get up and
castle.
close. I'd like to get up and close to that place. I've been
Would
trying
they
to
not
figure
let you
out
get close
who
to
I
it?
gotta figure out who I gotta contact so I don't get in trouble for trespassing.
Right. See, that's another thing too. When the haunted taxi, people kind of we've got to be kind of careful where we go. What we do is we got to be kind of careful to these people that own them. We're really kind of we make sure we work with them, and what we try to do is really work with the Chamber of Commerce, and I've got to tell you guys that Atchison Chamber of Commerce has done really fabulous work up there. So I really appreciate Jill and all of her staff have done a good job for us.
That
So,
might be the people we have to contact.
yeah.
That's a good thought. The Chamber of Commerce
Yeah,
in the town that building sits.
They kind of know everybody.
they have a lot of contact.
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
And I
So
should
you
have
guys,
because
I was just kind of wondering too, as I found I just searched your YouTube site up. Have you had any luck in cemeteries? Finding anything there?
We have. Oh my gosh, do I have one? You have to go back on Facebook. I actually went into the Round Mound Cemetery. There was a police officer in Atchison, and Mike remembers this. It was up there, and I was looking at other houses at the time. And this police officer, I asked him, I said, "Hey, what's the most haunted place in Atchison?" I thought he'd say Sally House or McIntyre or so one of those. And he said, "Oh no," he said, "the most haunted place is Round Mound Cemetery." So I thought I'd never been there. And so I went to Round Mound Cemetery, went out there, and it's all by itself, and it's in these cornfields, and it's up on a hill. And you go up in there, this thing, and I'm in there, and I'm walking it, and it's like an old, like Irish, Scottish with walls all the way around it. And I'm walking around it, I'm all by myself, and all of a sudden I hear music playing inside there, and I cannot figure out what it is. So you guys go listen. That was a really good one.
wow.
What?
It was like,
I mean, it is. It's like she's like singing like when they had passed away. And I asked there were some people up there like a few weeks later, like at Memorial Day time, they were putting up flowers. And I asked them, I said, "Hey," I said, "who is there a church near here?" And then no, there's nothing. So it's really odd. You gotta watch that. That's on Facebook. I've got that further
Kind
down.
of like there's no church
Let me see if I
around
can
the
find
one Eagle Road.
Yeah.
That tiny little cemetery out in the middle of nowhere on a country road.
Let me see if I can pull this up. Maybe I can find it here real quick.
We
It
had
is one of the
dogs
best
growling
pieces.
at that
I
one.
think it's one of the best pieces.
I've sent you a video of this place that's about 2 blocks from our house, and it was built in 1774. And it should be coming right now.
My house that I live in right now was built in 1900.
1900?
Yep.
You ought to look at
23
this
years
with
old.
1970 or 1774. Check it out. This is maybe about
Find
2
it.
miles
Let's see
from our house.
real quick here. I think I've got maybe. Come on, let's go. Let's
Still
see.
trying to find that one. I'll bring this one up for you, Mike.
Get it?
I'm trying to get it to stop running so that I can.
Oh, I've
Yep.
actually got the video. I can't believe I've actually got the video downloaded to SD. Okay, I'm gonna put this up for you guys here in a second.
He's got the video. I just gave it.
I cannot figure this out for the life of me. Let me see here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's that. Lewis and Clark were there. Lewis and Clark actually went through there, and those are the Kanza Indians that were there. That's actually their the
1774.
level. Yeah.
The sacrifice pit.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Awesome, isn't it? We only put the timbers. Seeing how people would live like this. Pretty cool.
The sacrifice.
That is cool as hell.
Yeah.
That would be the main
Awesome, isn't it? We only
gathering.
put the timbers.
It's crazy.
Seeing how
Isn't it?
people would live like this.
What's the other one?
That's the
I
outside
think
of
that
it.
would be the main gathering of the.
Oh,
the
so that's
main
the
gathering
entrance.
area.
Yeah, that's the entrance.
Wow.
It's almost like a sweat lodge.
Yeah, that's
I
what I was
think they
thinking.
cooked
That's
in there.
exactly what it is. And so Lewis and Clark actually went with the Indians there, which I thought was pretty interesting. Native Americans. My wife says I got to stop saying Indian. Native Americans. I got to say that. That's better.
See, we're
Not easy to
right
do
by
sometimes.
Three Springs where the Indians used to fight the cavalry.
All right,
There's
so
a
this
lot.
is it right here. Now you got to turn this one up real loud so you can hear this one.
It's as loud as it goes. Is it playing?
You hear the bird.
I think this is the one I was looking at earlier.
I'm hearing voices up here. Like singing.
Hear it? Is that crazy? There's nothing there.
There's nothing out there.
Quick as it's there, it's gone.
I don't know. I'd have to
That's a
look at this again. Maybe on
crazy
your.
cemetery.
I swear I saw somebody walking over there in the tree lines.
That's where
Did
the
you?
devil.
Is that where the devil's
Well, this
chair
is the
is?
devil. This is where the devil's chair is supposed to be.
Yeah, it's right over by that tree.
By the other side, yeah, the other side. But yeah, supposedly that's supposed to be the devil's chair over there. That's a legend. I don't know. You know, you hear stuff and you kind of. But I thought that was pretty interesting, and that police officer told that to me, and after I was like, wow, he was right. There's some serious haunt to this.
Did you check any of the headstones to see if they had
It's like it's all by itself, and
But did you check the headstones to see if anybody had placed motion detector?
Yeah, I checked.
Something like a
You know what?
motion detector
I
thing
checked for
on it?
music. I checked for music boxes. I checked for everything. I went back. We've gone back many, many times on our haunted taxis, and we can never recreate this thing. And I'm like, it freaks me out. I'm like,
the only reason I ask on that is because I'm a stickler for debunking my own stuff.
oh yeah, no. When I went back, I actually checked. I checked all the stones where I was walking. And then we actually are up there, and to this, we go up there regularly, and I cannot recreate it for the life of me. Cannot. And I'm like, it literally freaks me out a little bit because I go there and I'm like, but that's a great cemetery. And it actually is one of the more haunted ones in the United States, supposedly. I didn't even know it was, and it's just on the border of Atchison there, Atchison County. And so it's a little ways out of town, but it is truly a little haunted little place.
Oh. Yeah, cemeteries are fun sometimes. I mean, we've had a little weird things happen here and there.
Absolutely, they are.
You find yourself sitting out there by yourself, talking to yourself.
It's always fun. But you're used to that, Mark, aren't you?
Yeah, because usually when I try to hold a conversation with you, you ignore me.
Yeah, well, that's because I got too many voices in my head. You know, I mean, I can't
It's
hold
not
a
my fault.
conversation with you and the voices too. I got to referee them fuckers. They get out of control, all hell will break loose.
It's not my fault.
Sometimes it is.
How'd you guys come up with your
Yeah.
intro? I like your intro to your as your podcast goes up. Who
No, that was
designed that
good.
with like the going into the cabin and
Joe
how'd you guys come up with
always
that?
plays with that stuff.
I was just goofing around with some software and I put it together.
I like the looks
Most
of that.
of
I
it,
thought it looked good. I'm
most
big
of
into
it
that kind of
came
stuff
with.
too, Joe. You
Well,
see a lot of my.
I was just goofing around. I'm trying to make a better one. I want something more with the logo and us saying stuff.
I
I'm
like your
working
logo.
on
I
it.
like you guys' logo a lot.
Yeah. Next step now is to get that sucker copyrighted and trademarked.
Well, that's another thing too. You got it with. That's one thing we've been working. We had to work a lot of that. Is get a lot of our stuff is copyrighted and trademark. Just copyrighted, not trademark.
Well, the plans
Copyright.
we've got coming up, the plans we've got for our future in this is we've got no choice, and we ran into a little bit of trouble, and I'll tell you that behind the scenes one day. You know, that's not something we should air out there. But we've got
Well,
necklaces. We found some. What do you call those pendants? Is that what they're called, Mark? Pendants that you put on the necklaces and the earrings
Yeah.
and shit
Yeah.
that look like our logo.
Oh, with
wow.
names on it.
So
You know,
without
it kind of reminds
without
me
the
of.
ribbon, but it's like a skull and wings like that, and we basically started making necklaces and all kinds of shit. And
Kind of looks like the Evil Dead. You remember you watched that movie Evil Dead? It kind of has that. They actually have that kind of flying around.
That's good for motorcycle riders too. They like that emblem.
yeah,
Well, you
it
know
got
what?
a lot of when I designed that, it got a lot of comments from people that they really liked it and stuff. So we stopped changing our logo.
I'm going to put you guys' stuff on Defercation. I told Mike, I said, we're just going to pop you guys on there and we'll get you guys hopefully some more sales too. Because, you know, that's our big goal here is to go across the United States. And so I'll put you guys on there. So
there you go. Mark, you might want to turn off your
green
green screen a little bit because every time it kind of wiggles, you'd lose part of it.
Oh, yeah, that looks nice. Yeah, I see it.
So we had those and we've gone out, you know, to craft shows and stuff and set up tables.
This one's the lapis.
So it helps us pay for our equipment.
Do you guys do ride-alongs with people too? Do you do ride-alongs with people? Yes.
So if you guys are going to a haunted house, you take 2 or 3 more people with you.
No, just other teams.
We've taken other teams with us. We did an investigation up in Grafton at the Grafton Mill, and it was us and another team that went up there. We got some interesting stuff at that one. Halloween 2020, I think. We wound up with we were doing an EVP in the lower floor area.
Look at that, Mike. That's awesome.
And
way to go, Joe. That looks nice.
We're sitting in a common seating area, and one of the person, the guy from the other team, had his back again to the wall to the bathroom, which is right behind him. And we're sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear what sounded like water. And three of us got up to go check. And as soon as the one person went through the door, the sound shut off. And the guy from the other team went all the way over to the toilet to pull the back of the toilet, because you know how sometimes if it drains a little bit, it'll kick it to where it'll run. But normally you'll have a little bit of bubbles in there or ripples from the water coming back in. And it was nothing. There was nothing in there. And then I went over to the sink, and there was fresh water in the bottom of the sink.
Yep.
Wow.
And not one of us had used that bathroom that evening.
And how about that same building when Tom and I were walking downstairs. Unfortunately, I hate this. You don't have a camera with you or anything. You know, we were walking outside to go outside to have a smoke. We had to come down from the third floor. We coming down and we got down to the first
Bad
floor.
habit, you need to quit.
We're walking through this like hallway to get to the door to go outside, and we get to this middle light, and it just all of a sudden flickers on at us.
Wow.
And there's 3 lights on that wall, and if you turned on any of the light switch, they all 3 came on at the same time. Just the middle one flickered at us.
Wow. That's great. You know, see, that's the kind of stuff I like. I like the history, and I like little like clue like ones you go, what is that? You know, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, the history of that town, Grafton, is got a very strange history. There's no fire department ever being formed. Apparently, it was called something else at one point. I can't remember what that was, but then it burned down. Great big fire went through there. The mill that we were looking at was an old flour mill. Had a few
It's right
people
next.
pass away in there.
It's literally on the banks of the
Milwaukee River.
Milwaukee River.
So it's
Yeah, there's
Man,
a
that
lot
is-
of deaths
that's
down there,
cool.
probably.
and then not only was that mill, I mean the house, Tom and Molly's old house.
Tom and Molly's house. Holy crap, that place was very
I paid for that one.
intriguing.
I paid for that one for about 2 weeks afterwards. Normally, I was ready to walk up and down a bunch of stairs. You know, figured okay, I can suffer for a couple of days and recuperate, no big deal. It took me a couple of weeks. We figured it out much later because of the orbs we spotted and the cameras and stuff. One was going through the same leg that was bugging me for 2 weeks.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's good stuff. I mean,
It
you know,
is
that's why we investigate, right?
We got it
Oh.
up on our YouTube channel.
And then the wife,
Right.
she was outside and she was taking pictures of this old shed, like storage shed, where you'd put like, you know, your lawnmower and, you know, your little landscaping tools, right? And as she looked at the pictures after she took them, she saw smoke coming out from underneath the door, it looked like, and all over it, but nobody was out there in that area burning leaves. Nobody was grilling fires in the area of any kind at that moment. We ended up, the owners, we haven't been out to that shed. We haven't been in there since we bought the place. We don't go out there. It's too spooky.
Yeah.
So Mark and I decided to go out there. We open up the door, and this is after the pictures were taken that we go out there to check this out. And it was obvious that there was a fire inside. You know, the beams were all
But one
charred
might-
still. The glass windows was all peeling that burn peel that would, you know, glass, you know, that much heat caused the glass to actually
But of
peel.
course,
It's still there.
Joe and his wife both smoked. So my very first question to her was, "Did you have a cigarette in your hand, and were you
Didn't have
smoking
that
when
either.
you took those pictures?"
Yeah, because
Nope.
sometimes you get that whitely ghost mists that show up at places.
Yep,
Yeah,
she didn't.
That's
She
what we
wasn't
caught out
smoking
that,
either.
you know, that
Nope.
picture outside with that freaking demon woman flying. I've never seen anything like that, guys. I was blown away when he took a picture. I'm like, goes, look at this. I'm like, are you kidding me? I said, I gotta have that. Make sure I get that. He said, okay. So
Well, Joe, I gotta
I think it's been about 2 hours.
Yeah, hey, I want to thank
Yeah.
you guys, by the way.
Thank you.
You're
Joe,
on, guys. I gotta hit the can. So
yeah, I want to thank you guys. We've had a great time tonight. We enjoyed it. It was,
Yeah, it was
you know,
fun.
really
Thank you for
appreciate
coming
you
up.
guys getting us on here.
well, thank you for coming on.
You guys
Yeah.
are good guys. I'll tell you, I really appreciate it. And you know, and like Joe, I'll keep in touch with you too, and you too, Mark. We'll just make sure you guys are staying healthy and well, and Mark, I'll do a lot of praying for you. No, just kidding you, Mark. You're going to be fine. No, but I just want to make sure you guys. We do appreciate all you guys having us on here, and we had a great time tonight. And again, Ben, I want to tell you guys, God bless you both for having us here.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
here.
We had one comment. They said that that's a crazy house.
So what are you guys are going to be up to next besides coming out when?
The Fearcation travel up next month sometime.
Next month sometime.
Yep, sometime it should be out. Yep.
Yeah, we
Lord
should
help
have at least the Midwest covered, and then we'll start growing from there.
Plus, we're going to have our cabs out in Dodge City, back in Omaha again, because the weather's still cold right now, and
Down
then
in
out down to
Branson,
Branson.
Decorate some of them to look like cabs.
Yeah.
We can paint them
Decorate a
all
few of them
yellow
to look like cabs.
and put ghosts inside.
Yeah. Sure, why not?
You know what
Well,
you can do, Joe? You can just look at them and
We look
imagine
at
they're
yellow.
yellow.
They like yellow.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. I gotta
All right.
go.
God bless
get
you,
the
Mark.
can.
Next
See
week,
you guys
let's
take care of
see.
yourself.
Next week, we're going to be having, who are we going to be having next week? What is the date next week? Lakeshore Paranormal, February 3rd. And Tuesday, I'm going to be on Fear Factor.
Nice.
Good job.
We're gonna be talking Nightmare on Elm Street 3. So that's it. So everybody, you stay safe. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and
Good.
remember,
Thanks a lot.
anything's possible. Have a good weekend from the Insane Asylum.
All right. Bye.
All right.